Oh, wow. Where did that come from? Wow, this place is amazing. I wonder who built this thing.
Brother. Hi.
Do you know who built this? Where did this come from?
Bro, we did off camera. But I have something to show you. Let's go. Come here. I've been busy. I decided that, gee, there are some bees for alchemistry, so I should do all of alchemistry. All of the chemicals and all of the elements, and it's been fabulous. But then I thought, hey, these elements aren't used for that much unless you do GregTech. And so, it's Greg time. Come on, come on.
What? Where are we?
Boom! All the bees for Greg. Look, low voltage. Look, medium voltage. She's been cooking.
You really went ahead and got all of these bees, didn't you?
Make sure you wear your protective gear. We're Gregging.
A little Greg over here, a little Greg over there. We're going to try and keep all the GregTech stuff in this dimension, and this is the Beyond dimension. It's a dimension added by the All the Mods mod. So similarly to how we have the mining dimension and the other dimension, this is also just a void world dimension that is really good for just building some base stuff in.
I really like chemistry and physics, so this is kind of a natural extrapolation of that for me. Let us know in the comments if you want to see more Greg from a vanilla noob. So I don't have anything mass producing yet. I was just kind of playing around to figure things out. But basically, I have the boilers that are over here that are taking in water from the sink and lava from this tank. But we have basically steam being boiled here, and using the steam is being brought through these pipes to power all these different machines. They basically help you make rubber and wires. That's kind of the point of this. And then from there, you move on to low voltage, which is over here. And low voltage, you start making things like diodes and resistors and circuits. And this is kind of where that begins. Yeah, once you're done with low voltage, you move over to medium voltage. And this is kind of where I'm at right now, working with the electric blast furnace, but it's a multi-block, so I haven't fully set that up yet.
We probably will go for the Greg Star. We're definitely down for the challenge.
We'll probably be putting that as like a separate thing after the fact, though, because if we're going to go for the Greg Star, we'll definitely be doing that well after we finish the All the Mods Star and the Star AB, which is the current goal.
The idea with this is that we're going to have a little bit of GregTech progression in between all the other stuff, so by the time we get to like near the end, we'll actually have a little bit of a foundation in GregTech, so we won't have to start from the very beginning. But yeah, fun stuff, lots of Greg, and of course my roleplay fake confusion didn't really work. I don't think. We did go ahead and build this beautiful cathedral, and we're going to be making use of this cathedral today to dive into some more magic mods. The two mods that we are probably going to use the cathedral for are occultism as well as forbidden and Arcanus, right? Yeah, so we're going to be tackling forbidden and Arcanus today. And I think that the cathedral is a pretty good vibe for that mod. The design is very reminiscent palette-wise of the rest of the stuff around here. A lot of the neutral colors with the limestone and the stone variants here, but we've thrown in a couple extra little accent pieces that are a little bit different than what we've done around here. We're using some cyan terracotta in here instead, which we haven't used a whole lot, but I think that the color of the cyan is actually really nice here in contrast to the limestone. Most of this is made of limestone, but we're mixing in a little bit of calcite and even some mushroom stem. The main build itself is mainly the deep slate gradient that we've been using through a lot of our builds, but we're also adding in a little bit of darker textures here with some of this cobbled deep slate variants and some basalt. And of course, there is this pretty awesome centerpiece here, which is a yellow stained glass design. We're not sure exactly what the design is, but I think it actually suits this build pretty well.
I just kind of placed a bunch of stairs and walls until it looked fine.
You just basically summed up all of Minecraft building. Yeah, these are actually interesting. These lights, they're actually, the flames are separate from the pit. They fit perfectly within them, so but you can actually break this, and I think Grace picked it up there.
I picked it up, yeah.
But you can basically put the flame down separately if you just, yeah, like just shift right click it on top, which is kind of a neat little feature.
If you just right click it, it turns the red fire, and if you shift right click, it's the blue fire.
We also up here have these spirit fire going on, and this is from occultism. Basically, you just throw in one of the demon dream fruits and then light it with a flinted steel, and it turns into this purple flame, which we'll be making use of in the future. This would actually normally go out if you didn't have a netherrack block underneath of it. It would eventually go out over time, but we do have fire tick turned off on the server just so that things don't burn down that we want to keep, that are wooden. So that's the reason these are actually staying on. But you could do the exact same thing. Just make sure that underneath of it is a netherrack block instead. Anyway, let's push on into Forbidden and Arcanus. Now, we've gotten a bunch of dark stone just in our various mining adventures. You can come in here and take a look. We have 520, which should be enough to actually get this forge all laid out. And the entire goal of Forbidden and Arcanus, at least for the star, is to get the Eternal Stellas. One of the Eternal Stellas can be made inside of the Hephaestus forge. Looks like it just needs to be a tier 1 forge. Oh no, it has to be a tier 3 forge. So we actually have to upgrade this to at least a tier 3, which we can look at in the quest line. We can see how we can upgrade it further. Now, I don't know how many of those Stellas we actually have. We only have 20 right now. To make the actual bee, though, we only need 2 Eternal Stellas.
Which
so,
I think we have enough for already.
Yeah, so that actually might be the play to get the Stellarite bee, and then we can actually get more of those Stellarite pieces from the bee. We do need to use a Stellarite block for it to be the flower, but I think we have just enough then, because we need 9 for the block and then a couple for the bees. So we should be all good. Let's pick a spot that we actually want to set this up. I was thinking here at the very end, Grace, we could set up the forge.
Okay.
Looks like it's a 9x9, but not a full square. It's like a circular 9x9. It looks like it has to be the polished darkstone.
Oh, well.
We have to add in a couple of these chiseled polished ones. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. Oh, and the one in the middle here, 9. Finally, we need to have 4 of the arcane chiseled polished darkstone. We can turn these into the chiseled variant, just like so. And they just surround the central block like this. Everything else I think is just polished darkstone. On top of the center block, place a smithing table and sneak right click on it with a piece of Mundibiter. That sounds so wrong. And that will convert it into the forge. And if we shift right click, you ready for this? It's gonna be incredible.
See.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a forge. Next up, we have to have the darkstone pedestals placed on top of all of these polished darkstone parts. There we go. So we have 8 darkstone pedestals, which is the quest reward complete. And we can place these down on all of these spots, just like this. The aesthetic of this mod is actually really cool. All right, so now that we have the forge all set up here, what we have to do is take a look at some of the requirements for the Eternal Stella. To make 1 Eternal Stella, we have to have 3 of the X-Petrified Orbs, 1 Stellarite, and 1 Diamond. That's no problem. We also have to have 82 Oriel, 1 soul, 1,000 blood, and no experience. So we need to get some souls, some blood, and some Oriel. Now, Oriel can actually be generated by having what's called arcane crystal obelisks. They will actually passively generate Oriel and put it inside of your forge. Now, we actually don't need all of these pedestals because the craft that we're going to be using here is only needing 3 items out of the total possible 8. So in the spots that aren't needed for pedestals, we can actually place down some of these crystals. So I say let's take out the cardinal ones here on all 4 sides, and we'll replace these ones with these crystals. So to make these arcane crystal obelisks, we have to kind of craft them using a form of multi-block. And what we have to do is place down 1 of the polished darkstone and then 2 arcane crystal blocks, just like so. Then we have to get some of our dust here, get a little bit more crafted up really quick, and then we can just shift right click on this, and there we go. It's turned into a crystal obelisk. And if we take a look in here, we'll see that Oriel is starting to very slowly be generated in our forge. So we're going to do that on all 4 sides here. Now we have Oriel being generated here very slowly, but at least it is passive, so we can just kind of wait for this to charge up, and that shouldn't be any problem at all. We also do have a little bit of Oriel that we have in bottle form that we've gotten through just random looting around the world. You can actually craft it up using some of the arcane crystal dust and potion of regen if you wanted to do it this way instead. For now, we can just dump a little bit of this into the slot here, and that should oh, that's for the blood here. And that has actually given us a ton of Oriel. Nice. Now the next 2 things that we have to get are the souls and the blood. So let's start with the blood here. We have to get these test tubes as well as a mystical dagger and then go and kill some mobs. Let's put an Edelwood log in here to make a piece of dark matter. Get our dark rune. Finally, we get the mystical dagger. Nice. Thanks. And there we go. Pretty decent little dagger. And let's see, do these drop anything? Oh yeah, these do drop blood. I wish I actually should have put sweeping edge on this thing too. All right, we have 2 full test tubes of blood. which is pretty good. Each craft of this consumes 1,000 blood, so we basically have enough here for 6 Eternal Stellas, which actually isn't too bad. Now, I've tried automating this forge before by auto-inserting things and extracting, but it's actually pretty difficult to do because it doesn't really know what items to take out and what items to put in, and it can actually put things into the wrong slots within the forge, so it is unfortunately something that really just can't be done automatically all that easily, at least not in the way that I have tried doing it in the past. But if anyone successfully fully automated this forge, definitely head over to Discord, drop some pictures, because I'd love to see other people's setups. The last thing we have to do is get some souls, and souls are obtained by using a soul extractor. Let's get ourselves a soul extractor out really quick. We'll grab this and get one here for ourselves. And what this actually does is it takes the souls out of soul sand and it converts the soul sand into something called soulless sand. So what you do is you just kind of aim at some soul sand, you just hold right click, and it will slowly extract a soul. Now I have a little floaty guy. Yeah, you could probably automate this with integrated dynamics or modular routers, but I don't think it's really required for us right now. We only need 1 soul per, so it's not super expensive. All right, let's put our souls right in here, and there we go. Our forge is pretty much primed and ready to go to craft up some Eternal Stellas, except it is only a level 1 forge, so we have to do a little bit of upgrading of this thing. And to perform a ritual, what you do is you place all the ingredients on the arcane pedestals, and then you use what's called a gavel, a blacksmith's gavel, to activate the ritual by right-clicking on the forge with it. So you come in here, there's a bunch of different versions of the gavel we can use. I think a pretty decent one here is going to be just the diamond gavel. Okay, so to upgrade our forge to the next tier, we have to use 4 arcane crystals and 4 spawner scraps, as well as some Oriel, some souls, and some blood. It is going to involve us using all 8 of these darkstone pedestals. So we are unfortunately going to have to take down our crystals just for now. Oh, it does require levels too, I see. But we need bottles of enchanting to give it experience into the altar. Link in the middle.
Exactly the one.
There we go. Now it's glowing, which is good. Now we can right click with a gavel and it should start the ritual to upgrade our forge.
That's so cool. Wow, the aesthetics in this mod are actually kind of crazy. Well, it's going. Check it out. A bee! Oh, frick. A bee! I'm glad it didn't die. That would have been bad.
To upgrade to the tier 3 forge, which is the last tier that we actually need to get up to, we have to use 4 Deorum for arcane crystal, 1 chiseled polished darkstone in the middle, but then also 1,000 Oriel, 50 souls, and 9,000 blood. So we have a little bit more farming here to do. We'll get all that set up. We'll get it all figured out, and we'll be right back. Just gathering some souls.
Oh, as you do.
50 souls are in. We have enough blood in here and enough Oriel. Oh, we need 9,000 blood.
Kill more.
Now we can right click this and get our next tier of altar done. I keep saying altar. It's a forge, not an altar. It's a forge.
We're not sacrificing. That's next week. A little sacrificing, yes.
Oh,
nice.
Diamond. Bonk.
Very nice, very nice. Oh, it didn't do it.
No big poof.
We have a Stella.
Now, are we low on anything here? Nope, we got enough. Get our second Eternal Stella.
It's a little slow. Okay, that should be everything.
Okay,
4 of those.
Then you should be good to put the bee in the center.
2 of those. Let's go.
It's happening.
I've been excited to get this bee for so long.
Oh.
Oh, hi.
Good job, buddy. You're killing it. Look, he's cheeky. He's got little cheeks.
I like him.
Either that or he's sleepy. I see you immediately upgraded him.
Of course. No basic bees in this house.
I'm gonna go ahead, do a little more grinding, a little more gathering. We're gonna make 4 more bees. So there is a chance that we can produce the Stellas straight up from the Stellarite bees, but it's only a 1% chance.
Take a look at how many are in the inventory now.
22, yeah.
We have 1 bee. Just 1. Like all the ones we had already out, which was 7.
How many Eternal Stellas do you have now?
Well, with this one, that'll be 10.
Oh, that's enough to make all of the bees then. Bees! The final bee is being crafted, and then we have the Eternal Stellas.
We're maxed out. Let's go.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
We have 14 of the 18 Stella, 20, 30 Stella, 30, 42. I'm just gonna go double check there's a void upgrade because now I'm worried. All
right, we're at 74 right now. Well, we have all the maces, right? We have the mace of destructions. We have the vengeance. Oh, we can craft the vengeance focus. We need 36. Oh, yep, we can. I'm gonna make the oblivion shard. We have all the stuff we need for it.
Yep.
That's
All
like
good.
a main part of the star.
Well, in the event that we do need more phantom membrane, he's in the process of being ambered.
All right, the quest is done. Eternal Stella, and most importantly, the Master of Oblivion is done. 18 of those ready to be made into a star. So now that we finished Forbidden and Arcanus, I was taking a look at the star requirements and realized that we're actually only one item away from being able to craft up the improbable probability device. Everything else we have pretty much access to no problem, just using some auto crafting from stuff that we've already done before. But the one thing that we are missing is the jet suit from Ad Astra. What we're going to do is dive into Ad Astra, and we're probably going to finish off this episode by getting that jet suit and crafting the improbable probability device. At least that's the plan. So to get into Ad Astra, the whole premise behind this mod is to do a bunch of exploration of different planets, and basically you upgrade your main rocket to take you to further and further planets as you go along. But what we need is actually the calorite to make the jet suit, and that is found on Venus, I believe. The tier 1 rocket is made inside of this thing called the NASA workbench. Basically, this takes a bunch of steel, a couple other small things here, and this is all stuff that we have. So all we have to do is basically set all this to autocraft, make a NASA workbench, and we're basically all set and ready to make our first rocket. Let's make the NASA workbench, and I think what we're going to do is do this in the mining dimension, if possible. It might not let us take off from the mining dimension though, so we'll have to kind of just play around with it and see. 4 of these should be exactly what we need for the rocket. Let's just go ahead and place those in. We need 1 engine, and finally we just need the nose cone. Rocket nose cone. Cool. There we go. Oh. Wow, look what you're holding.
A flower.
Sure about that? Press Q.
Oh,
You see it now?
you better believe it.
All right, well, now that we have the rocket, we have to get something to fuel that rocket with, because right now we're not going anywhere without any rocket fuel. So we have to get the fuel refinery as well as the oxygen loader so that we can actually breathe when we're on the moon. We should be able to get a spacesuit, a full spacesuit, Grace. Put this on. Now I'm in my spacesuit. Now we're all ready to go. All right, well, let's get the oxygen loader out. This is how we're actually going to charge up our suit with oxygen to go with us to space.
Okay, I'm ready. I've never looked more ready.
Put our oxygen loader down here. I think this needs to accept water. Well, now we have oxygen, so we can put our stuff in here, and now we have a spacesuit filled up with oxygen. That should be all we need, actually. We don't need to bring a lot of extras, I don't think, but we could bring a couple extra tanks just to be safe. If you bring a gas tank in your inventory, you can bring a little extra, so just in case you run out of oxygen midway, you can have some backup. All right, the next part is we have to make the fuel refinery to actually get the rocket fuel, so let's just get that made up really quick. That should be pretty straightforward for us at this point. Get our fuel refinery, place that down, and here's where we have to actually input the oil. You have that drawer, right, of the oil?
Yep.
You place that down, and I can pipe right out of that into the refinery.
There you go.
There we go. Crude oil is in. And all we should have to do is give this some power once again. And there we go. Fuel is being made. So to actually get this, we need to get some buckets out. And I believe it's 3 buckets per trip. So we can actually grab out 3 buckets worth of fuel. And then we should be all set for our first trip to the moon.
We need to launch into space.
So we do need a launch pad then. Boom.
Oh, wow. Do I put the rocket down? How do I do this?
Yeah, just place it down. Right in the middle. There you go.
Oh,
Rocket.
wow.
Oh, you cannot launch from this dimension. Let's launch from on top of the castle. We're full up on fuel. A couple more things before we depart, though. I do want to bring a digital miner with us, which will help us mine a lot of the stuff we're going to need from the moon. I believe that's called Desh. Can you get in and I can get in? Is it a 2-person rocket?
Sure, let's try.
Oh, nope.
I'll go, and then I'll put it in storage, and then you
could do that. All right, you go first.
Go get fuel, okay? How do I do... Oh, uh-oh. Wait, you gotta watch the takeoff, Cal.
I'm watching.
Oh, it's 3, 2, 1. Uh-oh. I'm going.
Godspeed.
Ah! Oh, I have a little window, too.
Make sure when you're descending onto the planet, you use your thrusters to slow yourself down, or you'll crash and break it all.
Wait, what do you mean?
Good luck!
I did it. Oh, there's alien.
All right, I'm on my way as well. I'll see you there. Oh, here I come.
It's on his way.
I made it. Ah, you got some Desh, I see.
I did. I found a cave nearby, and I'm kind of just cooking.
Now that we are on the moon, what I'm going to do is show off my little digital miner setup here. What we're going to do is reset this, and in the config, we're going to just change this up a little bit. If we turn on our tooltip, we should be able to see that This is called Ad Astra Moon Dash Ore. So if we come into here, go config, go tag. So we're going to type in Ad Astra Moon Dash Ore. Hit save. All right, so Grace went ahead and silk touched one of those moon dash ores. So what we're going to do is use this as a filter. Come in here and say item stack, throw that in there, moon dash ore, and that is all set. So now all we have to do is give this thing some power, and we should start auto mining all of the dash. There we go. So we were mining 740 ore. So all we have to do is let this run for a little bit, and then use a wand with some fortune, and we should have way more than enough dash for all we're gonna need. And then we'll get our fortune pickaxe out and start mining this stuff. And we have an inventory's worth pretty much. Get a little more, but I think that's honestly enough dash for what we're gonna need. And grab our digital miner and we'll pack it up. I'm gonna take all of our dash out of here, 1.8 thousand of it. I'm just gonna send it all through our smelter here very quickly, just so we can get the full version or the ingot version of the dash, and that is going to be usable to craft the next tier of rocket. Now we're going to be trying to craft up the tier 2 rocket, which involves some dash blocks, some tanks, engines, and a nose cone once again. So I'm going to go ahead and craft up this next tier of rocket, and once we're done, we'll come back and head to the next planet. All right, I have the tier 2 rocket, Grace. We're going to give this some fuel, and then we are going to be off to the next planet. It's launch time. I will see you all on Mars. All right, we are landing. Unhappy creatures chasing me. What are you? A Martian raptor?
I've already trapped. I'm trapping them all in amber.
I'll send you the rocket back so you can come on in. All right, so what we're looking for is actually something called ostrum. Okay, so we have to find a little bit of ostrum first. Ah, I found it. Our ostrum. Mars ostrum ore. 590 of them nearby. Nice. I don't know if we'll need a whole lot more, but I'll let it do another stack or two, and then we'll probably call it good. And we will see you back on planet Earth. Okay, so now that we have some ostrum back home and smelted up, we can actually go ahead and craft up the next tier of gear that we're going to be wearing going forward. And that is going to be by using some of the netherite stuff here to make the netherite spacesuit. Go, and finally, I need to do the boots. Okay, so I have the entire set. Look at me. It's cool looking. I like this gear. All right, so I'll craft up the next tier rocket, and we'll be off once again to the next planet. And here we go. The tier 3 rocket is done. Tier 3 rocket, it's down. Fuel it up, and in I go. I can't see myself in the rocket this time. That's kind of weird. All right, so now that we have this tier 3 rocket, there are a couple options here. We have to either go to Mercury or to Venus. There isn't really a reason to go to Mercury because the calorite, the material that we're actually needing for the jet suit, is on Venus only. So we're gonna go land on Venus, and hopefully we can find the stuff that we need. Oh, I'm taking a lot of damage.
Why?
I don't know. I don't have oxygen. That's why. I forgot to give oxygen to myself. Thankfully, I brought an extra oxygen tank. Oh, you're gonna have to make another rocket. I'm gonna dig down until I basically find some calorite, which is what we're looking for. The mining here is really buggy. Not sure why it's doing this. Oh, is that it? I found it. Calorite. Nice. Over 600 in the area. Perfect. It's this ore. I don't know. From this planet, this planet's ore just does not want to mine. We can turn it into the calorite ingots. There's nothing on Glacio that we actually need for the start. It's just the jet suit. So we can actually just not worry about going to the final planet. If we want to, we can, but it's really, I've been there before. Not a whole lot going on there. I think we'll skip that one for now. Okay, it's time. It's time, Grace. 18 jet suits.
Let's go.
Missing 46 plates. 18 jet suits. Auto crafting up. There they are. They're in storage. Nice. And now the improbable probability device is within reach. The only thing we have to do now, I think, is for the flight modules, we have to get full syringes of gas. So all we have to do is kill a bunch of gas with these syringes, and that's how we filled that up. Other than that, all of it's just a matter of auto crafting, I think. Let's go ahead and place this down, and this should hopefully start spawning ghasts. It does appear to be working. Oh, we actually have to use the syringe to kill the ghast. Interesting. 16, 17, and 18. 18 flight modules are completed. We have to get the 1048 storage part or fluid part. Now, quick hint, if you craft up the 1048 million storage part versus the fluid one, it is incredibly more expensive. So if you're going to pick one of these options here, definitely go for the fluid storage part. It is way, way cheaper. We need 18 of these. And we have everything we need to craft this up. So we'll go ahead and get this thing started. That might take a while to get crafted, so we'll put that into the queue. I'm going to craft up a few of these pocket computers, which we actually need for the star recipe as well here. We need 18 of them. We also need this high density power capacitor, which we can actually just get via auto crafting pretty easily, I think. All right, all those batteries have charged up. This is the moment of truth. Can we craft up all of the improbable probability devices? Or should we do this all by hand because these don't stack? Oh, we're one battery short. Wait, where is it? There it is. Aha, all 18 improbable probability devices. That is crazy. What is this helmet? It's got 5 luck on that bad boy.
That's insanity.
But I think that's what we're going to call it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really hope you did enjoy. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to join the Discord. Link is in the description down below. That's it from me, everybody. I hope you all have a good one, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.